The revelations of Beyond the Gates on Thursday, June 19th, promise a series of explosive developments as Bradley "Smitty" Smith's Mike Manning investigation threatens to unearth countless secrets. The atmosphere in Fairmont Crest has never felt so suffocating. Every shadowy corner seems to harbor secrets just waiting to erupt. As night falls, the denizens of Beyond the Gates do not merely exist in their glittering facades, but are also forced to grapple with the darkness and old wounds that never truly healed. At the eye of the storm, Martin faces nameless fears when an old photograph, seemingly innocuous, becomes the spark for another wave of chaos. Smitty, the devoted husband and unofficial investigator for the Richardson clan, unexpectedly reopens the case at the yacht club, where a candid photo happened to capture a rare moment between Malone, a detective once considered incorruptible, and Joey, the criminal whose name is whispered with fear among Fairmont Crest's elite, though none dare speak it aloud. Will Smitty continue his pursuit of the truth at the risk of shattering his own family? Or will he bow to the pressure exerted by those willing to use both power and violence to bury the past? The larger question remains: is Malone merely a pawn in a much grander game of power? For Martin, long held up as the paragon of determination, pride, and success, the recurring memory of the secret night makes Malone's face not just a ghost from the past, but a haunting reminder that everything Martin has tried to protect could collapse at any moment. This inner torment pushes Martin to the edge of despair. How much can one man sacrifice to preserve his reputation and love? And can he face himself when all is exposed under the cold glare of truth? Meanwhile, as Smitty digs deeper into the sordid connection between Malone and Joey, he is oblivious to the way this entanglement is pulling Martin into a dangerous whirlpool. The shock only intensifies when Joey, the criminal presumed to exist on the fringes of high society, shows up right at the yacht club, the Richardson family's private sanctuary. Has Fairmont Crest ever truly had a boundary between good and evil, or has the community's silent complicity allowed ghosts like Joey to thrive in plain sight? As layers of mystery begin to peel away, each character faces impossible choices. Kat, Martin's beautiful younger sister, continues her quest for true love, but is Tomas really her soulmate, or just a temporary anchor in a world where loyalty and desire collide relentlessly? Kat's act of hiding under Eva's hotel bed is not just a burst of instinct but a symbol of suffocation, secrecy, and repressed longing. In seeking evidence to exonerate Laura, Kat inadvertently witnesses Tomas, the man she trusts, definitively reject Eva. Is this the proof Kat needs to fully trust Tomas? Or does it reveal that love games in Fairmont Crest are more twisted than any play she's ever known? Yet Kat's actions unwittingly pit her against Leslie, the seasoned, cunning woman who always capitalizes on the smallest weaknesses. When Kat steals the hotel keycard and crucial evidence in Laura's case, Leslie quickly plants a hidden camera to protect herself, turning the secret footage of Kat and Tomas into a weapon for future blackmail. A tool in a new shadow war where personal grudges can be overturned in a heartbeat. Elsewhere in town, Naomi continues to act as a champion for justice, undeterred by Fairmont Crest's carefully maintained social boundaries. When June, Naomi's homeless friend, loses her prized photograph after being evicted by the city's cleanup crew, Naomi boldly breaks into the storage facility to retrieve it. In her quest, she not only confronts systemic indifference, but uncovers a shadowy financial network tied to Joey's chain of money-laundering motels. The coming episodes will see Naomi standing at a crossroads. Will she remain a clandestine ally, or become the key figure who exposes the entire laundering operation, even if it drags the Richardson family into peril? The struggle between good and evil, personal secrets and communal truths, and between supposed kin who harbor endless suspicion, has never raged more fiercely. Fairmont Crest is no longer a place where masks suffice. Every choice, no matter how small, could set off a domino effect of tragedy. When Smitty confronts Malone in a fierce interrogation, when Martin is torn between loyalty to his husband and to his family, and when Kat must choose between love and political survival, who is truly in control of this town's fate? How far will Malone go to keep his secrets? Can Smitty survive as he steps onto the turf controlled by Joey and other shadowy bosses? And Naomi, will she finally shatter the code of silence, imprisoning the whole community, or become the next casualty in the endless power game? Viewers of Beyond the Gates, long accustomed to tangled family knots and classic betrayals, are now being drawn into a new labyrinth where every choice is loaded with peril, and every action triggers unpredictable consequences. As each secret is revealed and the masks of safe people slip away, the audience must ask, in this world of darkness, does anyone still dare to protect a piece of innocence? Or will all values ultimately be swept away in the storm of ambition, power, and mutual betrayal? Beyond the Gates continues to prove that the most classic dramas always stem from the smallest things. An old photograph, a passing glance, a split-second decision, a promise in the rain, or a single unplanned flutter of the heart. But it is precisely these details that spark disaster, pushing every character to their breaking point, where forgiveness has no place, and no one is truly innocent beneath the Fairmont Crest sky. As the lights dim on lavish parties, only tainted souls remain, quietly sighing and awaiting the day when truth, no matter how painful, finally speaks. With the curtain of truth slowly rising over Fairmont Crest, every character stands at a life-or-death threshold, where even the slightest reckless choice could set off a domino effect for the whole family and community. As Smitty prepares to confront Malone and force out the truth about his murky relationship with Joey, the real question is, who will strike first? For a man like Malone, hardened by storms and ready to use any means to protect himself, the threat of an accident or a reverse investigation to intimidate Smitty and suppress the evidence is all too real. Smitty himself, no fool, has surely planned his escape route. But can he truly gauge the level of danger when caught in the crossfire of the town's deepest criminal forces? Martin, outwardly calm, is now desperately trying to mask his inner panic. If Malone or Joey are cornered, Martin could become the next target for permanent silencing, especially if the recording or evidence of the secret night is at risk of exposure. The Richardson family's safety now depends entirely on Martin's self-control and Smitty's loyalty. Yet even within their own home, seeds of doubt are being sown. If Smitty discovers that his trusted husband is the missing link in Malone and Joey's criminal chain, will he choose to protect Martin or sacrifice everything for justice? A shocking twist could loom. Smitty secretly recording his final conversation with Martin, readying himself for betrayal, however painful. Meanwhile, Kat and Tomas's story is building to a climax. The hotel surveillance clip, if it falls into Leslie's hands, will become a dangerous bargaining chip, forcing Kat to collaborate with the very woman she despises. The Kat is exposed. She could be drawn into a larger conspiracy, where personal secrets are weaponized in a complex web of revenge, power, honor, and money. Tomas, once a simple romantic choice, could now be swept into the maelstrom as Kat decides whether to reveal everything to him, or to test Tomas's loyalty with a calculated deception, seeing if he is brave enough to go with her to the bitter end. After uncovering the money laundering network tied to Joey, Naomi is sure to become a target for surveillance and threats. If she sends evidence to ADA Turner or the federal authorities, Fairmont Crest could be rocked by a massive investigation, dragging even the town's most celebrated names from behind their philanthropic facades. Naomi's protection of June, the enigmatic homeless woman, might put her in direct danger. For who can say if June is merely a victim, or someone holding a key to unraveling the town's dirtiest secrets? Predictions for the next episodes. Malone will likely launch a preemptive strike against Smitty, possibly staging an accident or an intimidating counter-investigation. Martin will be forced to make a final choice: confess everything to his family and the public, or continue down the path of deceit, risking his own happiness. Kat, blackmailed into working with Leslie, may uncover a bombshell about Laura's case that entangles the whole care facility and Fairmont Crest's legal system in an unprecedented scandal. Naomi, with Anita's support and her own determination, will not hesitate to confront her family if forced to choose between justice and false peace. Every thread is stretched to the breaking point, A single exposed detail could plunge Fairmont Crest into an endless crisis. Beyond the Gates will no longer be a story of isolated secrets, but an epic battle of trust, honor, and hearts pushed to their ultimate limits. Who will survive, and who will fall in this deadly chess game where every move could cost a life for the sake of truth? All eyes are on the coming episodes, where every glance, every decision, could become the moment that seals the fate of an entire generation.